नमस्कार। आज हम हमारी योगा पॉडकास्ट सीरीज
नमस्ते।
में स्वागत करते हैं विनय भैया का। विनय भैया, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। हार्टली वेलकम
नमस्ते,
यू।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक
थैंक यू
यू,
सो
थैंक
मच,
यू
थैंक
सो
यू।
मच। थोड़ा सा हम आपका परिचय दे दें, जस्ट फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन। भैया स्टार्टेड हिज जर्नी, योगा जर्नी, in 2006 as a working professional in MNCs as a IT principal, principal engineer in an IT firm। और बहुत अच्छे से एक्सपीरियंस किया। एंड आफ्टर 2010 में इन्होंने MSc किया एस व्यासा से। और उसके बाद में साथ में एक गेस्ट फैकल्टी भी है काठमांडू यूनिवर्सिटी नेपाल से। और योगा इंस्टीट्यूट जो मुंबई में है, उनकी यहाँ गेस्ट फैकल्टीज है। बहुत सारे टीचर ट्रेनिंग सेशंस भी ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं। अभी एक बहुत ही सुंदर योगा विज्ञाना सेंटर बेंगलोर में चलाते हैं, उसका फाउंडेशन भी है। उसकी बहुत सारी सोशली एक्टिविटी रहती है। साथ ही साथ IIT हैदराबाद से अभी खुद एमटेक भी कर रहे हैं, हेरिटेज साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट से। और अभी ये कन्वेनर के तौर पर वर्क कर रहे हैं IYA कर्नाटका ब्रांच का। और साथ ही साथ योग चिकित्सा आचार्य भी हैं। तो इतना बहुत अच्छा सा वाइडली और प्लस टेक फ्रेंडली, योगा टेक फ्रेंडली जो आज हमको एक्सपीरियंस मिलना बढ़ना है। तो वी फील सो एक्साइटेड भैया। थैंक यू so much for coming on our podcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monika ji, for inviting me for this podcast. So I'm very happy to talk to you.
Lovely,
Thank you so
lovely.
much.
So how you start your journey? How you, matlab, the yoga fire, how you matlab, attract the yoga fire or the yoga energy? So please tell us.
If you want me to tell honestly, I was not even remotely close to yoga till I finished my studies because
Okay,
I did my engineering. So after completing my engineering, then I was also into a lot of adventure sports. I was
okay,
doing this mountaineering and all of those things in the Himalayas. And when I went once, I had a severe issue with my back pain in
okay.
the Himalayas, and I went for a trek. And that's when my mountaineering teacher told me, "See, if you want to really uh, continue with mountaineering, do some yoga practice and come back." So that was the only motivation because I was in IT job because it was a sedentary lifestyle. And on the other extreme, I was also into this adventure kind of a sports. So only for this reason, I came to yoga to relieve my back pain, and that worked within a few 15 20 days. I felt a lot better, but I was, as an engineer and as a science student, right, I was very curious to know how it worked, so what made it work. So that's when I continued the journey when I was working in Intel at that point of time. So I continued to study subjects like this. I was working and I was studying under many teachers, many scholars, and also physiotherapists and all of that in Bangalore, trying to deepen my understanding about yoga itself. So when
Wow.
this was all going on, my first teacher, he was observing all these things, and he said, "I take a class in front of your office in Intel. So why don't you teach from tomorrow?" I was like, I'm not even a certified teacher. You're asking a wrong person because I'm not a qualified teacher to take classes. And then he said, no, I know a lot of yoga teachers. I can ask them to take. But looking at your interest in the subject and how much you are studying the subject, I think you can become a better teacher. Why don't you start trying? Try it for a
Wow.
month and see if you like it. So, and that's how my teaching journey started. I just happened to, he just said to take classes, and I started teaching there, and I liked it. And since then, I'm now 14 years now. I'm teaching yoga. So
Lovely.
since then, I'm teaching, and after I started teaching, it became more interesting to know the subject itself, and that led me to different places in the country, across the country. I spent different times in different ashrams, trying to deepen my sadhana and practice and everything.
Wow.
And finally, one thing led to another. I took multiple career breaks in between. Finally, I left my corporate career for good in 2019 March, and since then, I'm totally into this now. I'm totally into
Wow.
yoga now.
Great, great. Means yoga meets technology, so it's like a quite interesting combination. Great. So what, being a technology expert and being a yoga professional, what challenges do you feel when you start your journey? How you can manage your challenges? Because every time we have started something new, we feel challenges.
Mhm.
So how you meet them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how you feel to tackle all these things? Please tell us.
See, few things that I definitely had challenges was when I started practicing yoga. Definitely, it was not practice-wise. It was not a major challenge. I could practice it, but when the decision came that I had to take up yoga as a full time, right,
Hmm.
that was not easy. See,
Seriously.
because if I have studied yoga from the young age, because my family is nobody is from yoga background or something like that. Although my sister is also a teacher, a yoga teacher in
Wow.
art of living and all that. But my parents, nobody were from yoga background, and and I was a successful tech person also. I was quite doing well in my profession as well. So when I told them that I want to quit this profession and get into yoga, so that was a challenge. So because in how the Indian parents react to these kind of shifts, right? Obviously there was a lot of natak going on at home for many months, so saying that you should not quit the job because it's a lucrative profession that you have, and yoga is not
Exactly.
going to make you earn so much money, and all of that lifestyle you cannot have and all that. So even when I quit my first time, when I left my corporate job in 2012, I took a first break because I left Intel and I was not working for 1.5 years, and that's when I really saw the struggle of being a yoga teacher. So because I started teaching close to my place, but there were only two people coming to my classes for a long time. So and I was paying more rent to the place than what I used to get from the
Oh,
people. So, so and even the
so
person used
different.
to take rent for me was asking me, "Do you want to really continue doing this? Because you're not going anywhere with this." Okay, and these are the kind of a challenges because as a beginners, because what many yoga teachers think is, moment you start teaching yoga, people will come to you, and it is not going to happen. Let me assure you that, right? That
Exactly.
moment you start teaching, you put a poster, you put a board, nothing is going to happen. Okay,
Exactly.
and it takes a while because it is a very slow process of building yourself up and also building your students also. It takes time, so we should have that patience initially. That is something which is definitely I learned in a very hard way because yeah, there are times where I was not getting any students to my classes initially, but over a period of time we have come to a point where we are doing pretty decent now.
Wow,
So, but
great.
these are something which I tell all the teachers who come to me also. Just because a certification course doesn't mean that you have, because even to this day I learn yoga from some teachers. Okay, that's how it
Exactly.
is. So,
Exactly.
because learning has to be constant. There is nothing just because you're a certified teacher doesn't mean that you're a master of everything. So,
Exactly.
because whatever I study, I still feel that I don't know anything, and that's why
Exactly.
I always have that exploratory mindset. I keep exploring new things. I just explore myself also in my practice, because every
Hmm.
time I stand on the mat and to practice, there is something new happening there. There's
Exactly.
something, okay, I didn't feel this a few months back or a few years back. Today, something I'm feeling a different kind of a feeling, because as we age, your body changes, and that gives a different kind of a response. And so what I say tell everybody is, use your body as a laboratory. So you just
Hmm.
keep looking at things within us, like
Hmm.
what is happening, because it's a constant
Hmm.
journey that we have to go within ourselves. But yeah, for the newcomers in the field of yoga, I would definitely say that it is not going to be rosy at the beginning, so have patience. So things will definitely get better as long as you're committed to the path.
Exactly. It's so important because every time we have to just develop a faith or develop a balance in our body and in the patients actually, students actually, और faith भी आपको develop करना पड़ता है so that we can
So,
just make our rapport and make our goodwill with this field. And you are absolutely correct. It's so good. And what do you suggest to start their journey? How they can start their journey as a newcomer, as a yoga lover? कि अगर वो just basic अगर zero से start करे तो how they can start their yoga journey. So
mhm.
please suggest. Yeah,
So this for this question I'll answer from two perspectives now.
yeah,
One as
please.
a practitioner perspective, one as a teacher's perspective.
G,
Okay,
please.
so because each one has their own journey to take care. So as a practitioner perspective, see, you practitioner perspective, you first decide who is going to be your teacher. So
Hmm.
because a lot of times nowadays what is happening is the yoga teachers are available in every road, every corner, so and everywhere the yoga teachers are there. So I always ask the practitioners to first see who they are,
Hmm.
because sometimes what I see many people do is they just go by the only thing they'll compare is this center how much they charge, these people how
Ah,
much they charge.
yes,
So that's the
yes.
only level of comparison, but they don't look at the experience of the teacher, because if somebody is charging a little more, probably he has that years of experience that he wants to share with you, because yoga yoga is not something which is learned from any certification courses. Okay, I'm very honest about it, right? Any certification courses is going to give you a certificate only, but the practice should come from your own practice and your studies from different teachers, and that is
Exactly.
more important. So for
Seriously.
all the practitioners, I just request them to at least compare and see whether their experience is there. Because whenever
Exactly.
somebody is teaching yoga, you should understand how much of experience they have in the subject, or how much of subject knowledge they have. Probably go talk to them. You try to understand their background. Be open about it. Try to understand, because
Exactly.
the teacher should be questioned. That's what I believe. The teacher should not be blindly accepted. So
Exactly.
even
Exactly.
that's how our in Indian system also, right? We had a even the student had a liberty to go and question the teacher always. So, and that is something which I always tell the practitioners who are starting the journey: understand the teacher first, question them, and then you start the journey. Because once you started the journey with them, stick to them for some time. Because nowadays
Mm.
I see that people keep taking trial classes nowadays. So I try this teacher. See, we can't try a teacher. Honestly, I'm telling you, right? Because the teacher is coming with so much of an experience, and with a limited knowledge, we don't have the ability to go and try a teacher. Okay, and all these trial classes thing is all there everywhere now in the market. Every center is saying, "Come and try,"
Come and try.
and I am totally against it. My personal thing, because I don't allow anybody to come and just to see my class and go. I don't allow people, as long as once they are connected with me, then they become my students. That's all it is. So there is
Wow.
nothing in between. So and that is what I recommend a practitioner to start with. So understand the teacher and just commit with the teacher at least for good considerable duration of time, because I know
Exactly.
sometimes after a point the teacher may not be able to fulfill your because you also evolve, right, in the
Sometime,
journey.
exactly. Huh.
Once you evolve, then you have to look for a different teacher. Or sometimes if you won't ask your own teacher, he will be open to say that or point you to a different teacher if you go and share that. And I
Ah.
want this openness to be there among the students also, because if you are evolving, if you think that I am better than a teacher, go and ask the teacher itself. Now I want to learn more of these things, whom should I go and ask? Then you never know that the teacher may only suggest you to go and talk to somebody else, saying
Ah,
that I know this
yes.
person, he is more
Perfect.
better than me, go and learn from him. Okay.
Exactly.
And
So
that is the thing
beautiful.
I would say for a practitioner: don't get keep fluctuating, because this fluctuation is very bad. Because
Hmm.
from one teacher to other teacher, try this teacher for 2 days, this teacher for 2 days, another teacher for 10 days, not good. Okay, you have to stick with the teacher at least for a considerable time to learn from them. Okay, because yoga is a
Exactly.
lifestyle, right? You need to imbibe the lifestyle also from the teacher. That is from the practitioner perspective. Second thing is from the teacher's perspective. So teacher's perspective, as I already mentioned earlier, if you want to start teaching yoga, you don't think that moment I did a certification course, you'll get a lot of people coming to you. Okay, and unless the person is convinced that you are a good teacher, they will not come to you. And the
Hmm.
that conviction, you will be able to convince them only with your own practice, nothing else.
Hmm.
Okay, no amount of certificate will convince a beginner, but your practice can. Because if you are able to practice, dedicate your time for the practice every single day. Because I've seen this again in yoga teachers thing, right? Moment they become a teacher, they think that they know everything. Okay, and they don't practice after that. Or another thing that happens is they think when I'm teaching only, I'm practicing also. Okay, that is not going to happen. Okay, I'm so sorry to say this, that
Please.
whenever you're teaching, you cannot be practicing. Those two are two different things. Because teaching is something that you do it for others, practice is something that you do it for yourself, and those two cannot
Wow.
go together.
Great.
Okay, so
Ah,
that's what I tell all the teachers. First, you put a schedule for your own practice. That's more
practice.
important. Because if your practice is sincere, then student will come to you. Okay, and or rather I would say the other way of saying it is, if your practice is sincere, you will attract the students to you.
Hmm. Your
Okay,
energy. Yeah, exactly.
your energy will start attracting provided your practice is there. If you stop practicing, gone, nothing is going to happen. So that's why I tell all the teachers, first give your whatever the time you decide is fine, but give some time for practice every day. And no matter what, that time should not be given to anybody else. Because particularly when you start teaching, right, this is a common thing that I've seen in teachers again. Because particularly if they decide to practice in the morning, and somebody says take a class in the morning, they will always go behind money. Oh, the
Exactly
class is
because.
coming.
Uh,
Exactly, right? So that's where you should always. My teacher used to tell me one thing. He was always telling me you should always be selfish about your self practice. Okay, that's what the statement
वाह,
used to
ये
say.
तो बिल्कुल
Be
हाँ.
selfish about your practice. Okay,
Yes, yes.
because unless you are having that strong what do you say, a power, or a, we say in yoga, right, tapas, a strong
Tapas.
desire or a willpower to go and do your practice, right? And that is more important for a teacher, I would say, because and then the everything else unfolds from there. So these are
Exactly.
some advices I want to give for the
Beautiful.
practitioner side and for the teachers also.
ब्यूटिफुली ब्यूटिफुली बहुत ही अच्छा आपने मतलब just like a pointed, it's like a very effective and very actually useful and perfect. That's so good, very good, very good. Now ये तो हो गया. Oh, how you feel blessed as a professional, because professional journey is different from a practitioner journey, you also already told that. But being as a professional and as a yoga seva dharma, so how they can manage and how they feel blessed and make a balance in the professional journey and the seva dharma, if you can elaborate or if you can understand.
See, if you ask me, right, see, even for me, when I switched my profession from IT to yoga, I was
Hmm.
very clear that I am not going to make a lot of money the way I
Hmm.
used to do it in IT job.
Hmm.
That was clear to me.
Hmm.
Because moment you have left IT job, that was if you want, if you are behind money, I would have rather stayed there. So, but because I left and came here, my idea was I want to create a little different kind of an impact, or the different kind of the reason for people to look up to me. Okay, so once your that clarity is there, that you have come here not just for the sake of money, but you have to create an impact in the people, and then once that is there, right, then the money is there. Money is important. I am telling you that money is, without money, because we are in a capitalist society, right? Just
Hmm.
because I'm a yoga teacher, nobody will give me free food or free accommodation anywhere. So I have to pay for everything. So I have to make my living also. But at least be sincere to what you're doing. That's what I tell all the teachers who want to come into yoga as a profession, right? So whatever you are doing, the money is the second priority. First, focus on being sincere with what is the activity or whatever teachers teaching you are doing. And once you
Hmm.
start doing that, then money will come to you automatically. So
Hmm.
initially money will
Exactly.
be less, but over a period of time it will start flowing. So there's nothing like, at least for your basic needs and bread and butter, or much more than that also, people can earn in yoga. So there is nothing like yoga is not a good profession. I would say yoga is nowadays particularly, right, because people are doing yoga a lot. In the last 10 years, yoga has grown significantly. So and it has become a quite a lucrative profession also. So, but come to it for the sake of sharing that knowledge of yoga more than just looking at it as a profession. That's what I see people, because I get a lot of calls from a lot of my friend circle also. They call me and say, I also want to become a yoga teacher like you. When I asked them, "Do you practice yoga?" I said, "Oh, I'm basically doing some Surya Namaskaras and all that, but I want to become a teacher." And that's not the way it is. Okay, so you just by doing some basic things, you cannot envision yourself to become a teacher, because the transition to become a teacher should happen very naturally and organically. First, you want to
Hmm.
become a practitioner, and as a practitioner, slowly, because your knowledge is increasing so much, that you should only feel that need to share this knowledge to people, and that's the
Great.
organic transition that should happen. And that's where I always tell people, don't just look for certifications first.
Hmm.
First look for how much you can learn as a practitioner first, and then certification is a byproduct of it. Because if as I shared earlier, I was never behind certificates. When I started teaching yoga for 2 years, I was teaching yoga without any certifications. I just taught because my teacher asked me to teach, as simple as that.
Hmm.
Because that was the tradition that we had earlier also, right? The Guru Shishya
Ah, Guru
Parampara that
Shishya
we had.
Parampara.
The teacher said, tomorrow onwards you will take the class. I said, okay, fine, I'll take the class. And then that's how it was. Okay. So, and over a period of time, you will get all the certifications and everything. Even I did certifications much later. Okay.
Great,
After I
great,
started teaching.
great, great.
So just don't
You
go
have
behind the
already
certificate.
you have already developed the yoga wisdom, na? After that, you will just put a stamp on your wisdom actually. So that's so
Exactly.
good. That's so
Exactly.
good. That's so good. Great, great. Wow, feels so good. And what do you suggest? Ki, yes, I can understand the seva dharma, the professional journey, and the
Mhm.
practitioner. But yes, it's also correct ki be selfish about your practice. It's so important. But how, when you feel sometimes you are also running a center, sometimes they are comparison like ki you are not doing something new or something creative or something. So everyone get feel bored because they are not that practitioner, they are just like doing yoga for their disease or for their particular requirement. So how do you manage those students actually? because it's a
See,
common problem.
I understand the question. See, my class is not going to get boring so easily because there is a lot of variety in the class. First thing,
Mhm.
because every class is going to be a little different class, and also the other thing I want to tell people, right? See, we need repetitions actually. If you want to
Exactly.
really calm your mind, repetitions are the key. Okay, and see, everything in our life is repetition only. If you ask
Mm.
me, right, you get up in the morning, same day you get up, you sleep, and all of that is repetition. Or even for any profession, it's a repetition. Even if you go and ask a doctor, right, who does a surgery, it's a challenging thing for him, but it's the same thing for him actually. For us, it looks like, oh, he's doing an heart surgery. For him, it's a repetition. Same thing he keeps doing every day. Particularly if you go and meet a doctor who does same surgeries, right, like cataract operation every day, like in a day, you'll do 20, 30 operations. Same
Mm.
story, same thing, but he
Mm.
keeps repeating. See, one thing I tell you, right? Repetition are the only thing which will increase our wisdom. Okay, not just fluctuating things. If you are thinking, okay, I'll do this one today and tomorrow I'll do something else, you'll not be learning anything eventually. Okay, but if you do the same thing again and again and again and again, again and again, that's when your experiential knowledge will start increasing. Because
Mm.
today I did the same practice, but I may have some lesser experience. That's why I may not have learned much from the practice. But as I keep doing the same thing again and again and again and again, right? That's when my experiential wisdom will start increasing. And that experiential wisdom happens only by repeating things again and again. Because we have to repeat multiple times, thousands of times. Any profession for that matter, particularly in this kind of a profession, even if you go to dance form, Bharatanatyam dance or any dance form you should take, they do the same thing, repetition. Singing, same repetition, repetition, repetition. It's the same raga they practice millions of times. Okay, so the
Beautiful.
repetition is what actually gains the experience. All the other things becomes a theoretical thing only. If you just say, okay, I attend one class and next day I want something else, right? That means you know these things, but you're not experienced both of them. That's how it's
Means
going to be. If you want to really,
master of none, jack of all,
yeah.
like these things. That's so good.
So
Yes,
if you want
perfect.
to really experience something, you need to have repetition. That's the only way to really going deeper into the experiential part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how you can just for you can what you can suggest a newcomer for the technology purpose, because you are also a technology person. For the future of technology and yoga with technology, how we can see the future with yoga with technology, because AI is coming. So sometimes say ki we have a AI yoga teacher also. So what you actually suggest as a yoga teacher to a newcomer or to all the yoga community, so how they can manage yoga with technology? Please tell us.
See the technology is good, but
Hmm.
technology should be used as an assistant, but not a replacement for teacher.
Hmm.
Okay, that is
Hmm.
something which I'll always say that, right? So because nowadays we have a lot of AI apps, mobile apps are there, which will tell you, which will look at it and say this pose is correct, this pose is right, and all of those things.
Hmm. Hmm.
But all of these apps or whatever whoever designed these apps, right? They will design it as a generic algorithm which can fit into majority of the people. Okay,
Hmm.
but not
Exactly.
for everyone. Not
Hmm.
for everyone. Okay,
Hmm.
because every person is unique. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, right? I am different and you are different, and the apps will probably think, oh, we both are same.
Hmm.
Okay, but only a teacher can look at you both and say, okay, fine, this is your limitation, you are different. This is your limitation, you are different, and there's no comparison there, saying that, oh, you are not able to do this way. Because most of these technology apps, right, they always need to set an algorithm, because I know how technology works,
G.
right?
G.
They need to put an
G.
algorithm saying that if this much as angle is there in your knee to your knee flexion on that, then you're doing it right. If you're not having this much of an angle, that means there's a mistake there in the practice that you're doing. That's the only thing they can code. They can put some angle there and they can code their logic there, but they cannot code all the varieties that is there in the world, because
Hmm.
every person is different, right? So at the end of the day, some person may not be able to bend his knee to that angle itself in his life. It's not possible at all.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that much of a probabilities cannot be loaded into the algorithms. So algorithms will work on a generic scale, but not at a subjective scale, individual scale.
The
Okay,
customized
so
one, the customized one. Ki
yeah,
this is
you
for Vinay
cannot
Bhaiya,
do
this is
every
for. Huh.
Exactly. Then in that case, somebody should write a code looking at me. Somebody engineer should be there looking at what I'm practicing, should write a code for me. And that's only for me, nobody else. Okay, that's
Hmm.
not possible in any technology for that matter. So, but use the technology as an assistant towards you, but don't completely overly depend on that technology itself. That's what
Hmm.
I tell, because sometimes this technology can also be not completely right. Okay, it
Hmm.
can be hindrance because you are unique, your body is unique, your requirements is unique, and these requirements also keeps changing with your age also. Because probably today my requirement is different from yoga practice. After 10 years my requirement from the practice will be different. Why it is
Hmm.
different? Because of my life
जी,
changing after 10 years.
जी, जी,
And
जी.
only a teacher can look at all these things. Okay, your life is changing now, probably you may have to do something else now, but apps cannot say that. Okay,
Thank God
so
कि means AI cannot replace the yoga teachers also.
yeah, any amount of, see, AI itself, if you look at ChatGPT, it's a wonderful tool. I'm not denying that,
Hmm.
but even that can make mistakes. Okay,
Exactly.
so AI, whatever the ChatGPT says, everything is not right. Everything is not a golden word. It can give you pointers. At the end of the day, you should make the decision what is right and what is wrong. Looking at those things, definitely AI is going to make your life simpler. AI
Hmm.
is, because the technology is going to make it easier to look for data and look for content and look for the right information and all that. But at the end of the day, we should not leave our mind when you're looking
Hmm.
at those data. So you should always look at this data and then analyze based on that. Don't overly depend everything blindly on that.
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful. Wow, that's so good. Wow, feels so good. So now we have conclusion time. So please conclude. मतलब it's like मैं और चाहती हूँ ये और हो और बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं. So will actually अभी हमारे podcast की लिमिट ये थी तो अभी how you conclude this beautiful podcast session भैया? So techno friendly, so beautifully actually. Please tell us any conclusion
No,
about this, any
I
keywords.
would now, if I want to say one thing as a conclusion for teachers, or whether it's for a new practitioner, everybody, keep practicing, and just trust yoga. You follow yoga path, and then rest of it, yoga will take care of you. Don't worry about it.
Exactly,
At least
exactly.
initially, you be committed to the path of yoga, because yoga is such a subject that once you are committed to it, it can start changing your lifestyle completely.
Hmm. Hmm.
But just allow that to happen. Surrender to yoga itself. Completely surrender and keep practicing. Then you just observe what all changes is happening in you. There's a lot of positive changes happens within us by not doing anything, by just practicing itself. Okay, and you just observe and enjoy those things, and yeah, keep enjoying the practice. That's what I would say, and see the life transforming automatically by that.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much भैया. Feels so
Thank you.
good. बहुत सारा
Thank you
नॉलेज
so
और
much.
इतना सब कुछ पॉइंटेड और बहुत ही अच्छा. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.